Greasy, slimy hair is a look that a lot of 21st century guys really aren't looking for. So in this video, I'm going to show you several ways that you can reduce the amount of grease and shine in your hair and mattify your look overall. It can take your hair from looking like this to this in a matter of seconds. I don't like the greasy look for a couple of reasons. It makes your hair look thin, and it can also look unhealthy and dirty like you haven't washed for a while. A buildup of grease, either through overactive sebaceous glands, lack of washing, or just product usage, can leave you with that shiny look. So before we get into those tricks and hacks, I've got to point out a couple of common sense things that you should be doing. Firstly, stop using wet look products like hair gel. I don't know why some guys are insistent on using cheap, old school hair waxes and gels. These clump your hair together and will make your head look like a sweaty testicle. Even in low light conditions, you're able to see straight through to the scalp. There are plenty of other styling products out there that offer similar levels of hold with far less shine, that will leave you with a much more natural look overall. Furthermore, actually wash your hair regularly. I see a lot of smelly people on public transport, and a lot of them have really greasy hair because they're clearly just not washing their hair enough. If you're not washing at least a couple of times a week, that's one of the reasons why your hair's probably looking shiny. I wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner once every other day. There's a lot of scaremongering out there about shampoos and hair loss and all this stupid stuff. Doing it once every other day, you shouldn't have any issues. Okay, so outside of those, what else can you do? Maybe you've styled your hair or just woken up and your hair's all greasy, it doesn't look good. How can you recover it? It's always worth having some dry shampoo, at least somewhere in the house. Even if it means borrowing your girlfriend's occasionally, it can really help. If you have too much grease, use a few sprays of this stuff and rub it into your hair. You can even use these in combination with a brush to really get it through. These have similar properties to a regular shampoo, but they are generally slightly less strong. The only thing with them is while they do reduce the greasiness, you'll also find that sometimes it throws your hairstyle off a bit. So I'd mainly recommend using these before styling your hair. If you want to mattify an existing hairstyle, maybe you're doing your hair, it's not quite going how you want, I'd certainly recommend trying some form of hair powder. This is probably the easiest and quickest way of doing it, and it's probably my favourite too. With this product, you literally just pour or spray a little bit directly into your hair and then rub it in. This product will help to soak up some of that grease and also thickens your hair up a bit in the process, making it slightly easier to style. If you have super thick hair, then maybe it's not the route to go down, but for the most part, for most heads at least, it seems to work well. The good thing with this stuff is it pretty much allows you to keep your hair in the same sort of style as you had it before, and it can also help to reinforce the hold of whichever product you're styling with too. I'll chuck the powder and the dry shampoo in the video description if you want to try out the ones I've been using. An alternative method to reduce that wet look is to use a blow dryer. This is really useful if your hair just isn't looking good and those previous methods haven't worked for you. If you're going to do this, ensure you've got a hairdryer that has a cold setting or button, and then simply just blast through your hair for a minute or so. Admittedly, this one isn't massively effective, but sometimes it can be just enough. I've tried combining this with sea salt sprays in the past as well. It's almost like you're resetting your hairstyle with this one, and it gives you a second chance at styling that hair again. An important tip is, once your hair's in place, you need to stop touching it too. One of the reasons some people's hair is so greasy, especially on nights out and stuff like that, is because people can't stop touching their hair. If you keep rubbing your hands through your hair to try and get it into shape, it's only going to make your hair more greasy again. I see plenty of guys doing this in nightclub toilets because their hair has fallen down a bit. Often this is because they're not using a strong enough product. That kind of ties in well to a little bonus tip I want to chuck in too, and that is use less product. I'd say most guys probably use too much product in an attempt to get a stronger holding hairstyle. Even many of the most matte products will end up being greasy eventually if you're using extortionate amounts. For my hair, I just normally use a fingertips amount to make sure that it's well dispersed in my hands and then in my hair. If you've tried using this amount and the same technique as me and your hair just isn't holding in place, that's probably because you're not using a good enough product. I'd suggest trying a different product that offers more hold rather than trying to double up on your existing product. I've done a couple of videos before on products that I think are generally quite good for most guys. They've got a solid hold. I'll link them in the icon above and also in the video description. If you've really cocked up your hairstyle as a whole, it might just be worth washing it out and starting again. But if you've got any more tips and tricks, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more hair tips. I'll see you in the next one.